people don't reach their full potential. Many people don't believe in themselves and whatnot. And so this forces them to go look for self-help. They look for self-help. They go and try to find ways to live their lives better. But the problem with self-help is that how can somebody else say something that is good for your life? Your life is so individualistic. It's so one thing for me can be a totally different thing for you. So why are you seeking self-help? And then it hit me. So instead of seeking for self-help, why don't you just help yourself? I thought about my whole situation. I thought about where I was in my life and everything. And I'm like, I am here basically because of my own mind. Like, there's nobody told me what to do. I was just like, I'm just going to do this shit. And I'm going to do it because I like doing it. And so I thought, if I could do that, well, shit, anybody else can fucking do that shit. Like, I mean, you can just use your own experiences and everything you have to make your life better. That's it. And so the whole show is just trying to find these little bitty, it's trying to connect everyday occurrences to who we are empirically. And by empirically, I mean who we are. Yeah, just
observationally.
Exactly, at our most base level. And so we take different things. So for example, I'm working on this episode called, what's the most recent one? It's called, I just got through editing. Adulting.
Okay.
And I talked to this psychologist up in Boston about this expert. Yeah, he's like
that's
the
cool.
number one expert. That's what I'm doing. That's the cool part about the show.
Yeah.
Is that whatever it is, so it can be love, relationships, money, adulting, kids, literally anything.
Yeah.
All I have to do is go research it, find the top psychologists, and then reach out to them, and then go interview them. That's it. And so that's what I've been doing. This is like my fourth interview with like for different people. And so I interviewed him, and basically, like that whole episode, it was interesting because at the end of it, he said like this great line. It was like, many people have dreams, right? They of course, how are you gonna have dreams and not? You gotta have dreams to be able to know a path that you want to go on.
You gotta have a vision.
You gotta have a vision.
Yeah, you gotta have something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he was saying that many people, and it sucks, but it's true. Many people won't fully realize those dreams. Like they won't 100% make it. But the thing is about adulting, he says, he thinks the most important part is that, because he's been doing this for 20 plus years, studying this. He's like, many people, by the time they get to their 30s, they make peace with that. They go, okay, maybe I didn't become a world track athlete, or maybe I didn't become a basketball player, a rapper, whatever.
Yeah, whatever the accolade may be.
Whatever the accolade may be. But I have what I have, and I'm okay with that. I did this. I have my family.
A sense of complacency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of looking, it's perspective. It's seeing what you have and going.
Did he say that that's a negative thing, or?
No, he said that is like the thing. That is like, he believes that is the true marker of maturation, is looking around yourself and going, you know what? I may not have achieved everything I wanted to achieve, but I achieved enough.
Fuck,
and I'm okay with that.
It's crazy you talking about this right now, because I mean, how old are you?
20.
20?
Yeah.
See, I'm 22,
yeah.
And so we're about the same, similarly the same age, you know? But recently, I've been kind of getting to that point where I'm questioning those accolades. I mean, I'm questioning those dreams. Like, what are these dreams of, like, actualizing my vision, my stories, all that kind of stuff? Like, it's something I want to do, obviously, and I feel like I've already achieved that to a certain degree. Maybe not like on a grand scale as some of the people we look up to who are in the industry at the moment,
right.
But definitely because of the fact we've been blessed with the internet and the ability to express ourselves, I've fully been able to actualize myself as an artist and as, like, you know, a writer and whatever it is that I, you know, present myself as being. But at the same time, I'm asking myself this question of, like, are these things worth it in the long run, when that man you were speaking about talks about how there's other senses of success or obtainment when it's attaining full autonomy just with being with loved ones, with family, with all those things that you know and that I know gives me almost even more meaning than some sort of success or something like that, you know what I mean? And as I start realizing, like, okay, so I'm trying to, like, put it on the weighing scale, right? Like, what is success? Like, how does success really make me feel internally?
Right.
And yes, it's almost like it gives me this, like, it gives you a big high when you, like, fucking hit that shit and you conquer it, but it almost, like, it disperses, like, instantaneously. You know what I mean? Especially now where people see what you do, they like it for a second, it's out their mind. It's out the door. It don't even matter what you did because it's out their brain because they still working on whatever they doing, right? the other thing, when it comes to the full autonomy, family, love, connection, community, all of that, this doesn't seem to like, it's almost like there's not even a peak or a low. It's like to have that is to have a consistent sense of meaning and a consistent sense of feeling like you're there for not only yourself, but for your brother, your sister, your mom, your pops, your friend, all that shit. Those are constants within, again, like you're saying, the human condition that I'm starting to realize I need to be putting more effort into that.
Yeah.
Because if I don't put effort into that, I'm going to be on my deathbed alone.
Exactly.
So there's people, I even know homies who they aren't really putting effort into that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they haven't even been blessed with that as kids.
Exactly.
Not everybody's blessed with that, with a family.
Exactly.
So they start seeing meaning and their motivation to be within accolades, within art, within all of that, right? And so they clamor towards that, and they're successful towards that, and they get meaning out of that. But at the end of the day, they go home alone.
Exactly. Love.
And so you might be sacrificing some of the main things that are going to really give you meaning just to make something. And that might not be worth it in the end.
Right.
It really may not. Like, and I'm like, it's a bittersweet kind of realization.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like I really would rather be on that side of community, love, and family than to give a fuck about what other people think of my art and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This time for sure has been really making me think about that kind of stuff. And I think it's doing this for a lot of people.
Yeah. I agree. Same here. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I've mainly been trying to work on, because I've been having that same like discourse with myself, because me being who I am, like I left home at like 15 years old to go off to school.
Mm-hmm. So you telling me about those journeys he was on.
Yeah, so I've been like gone for a long time, and like this is the first time I've been like back in a while, and I'm like, man, this is I lost that time. Like I lost that time with my loved ones that I didn't think about it like that. But the thing is that you were trying to see if it's whether it's not right or wrong, but which one would you rather do? And it's really tough for me because I don't know, because I see who I am. I know what I guess can give to people in terms of like their feelings. Like I feel like I can make people feel things, and which is a great goal of mine. But at the same time, there's my family, and I know if I give myself to this, like the human condition, for example, I know to make it the place I want to be, I got to give myself to it 100%. I was just having this conversation with my ex-girlfriend from like 2 years ago. Like we talk on the phone all the time to this day.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
And it's because like she, not that she gets it, but like we talk about this stuff a lot. And it's like when it comes to relationships, and I have this is probably the third time I've had this exact conversation. It's that when it comes to relationships, it's a big gray area for me. Literally everything else in my life is black and white. Everything else, my job, so easy.
You got certainty. Yeah.
It's just working on this art, so easy. If I sit down, it's gonna get done. But when it comes to people and relationships, I'm not good at that. And I genuinely try, and I don't know where that disconnect.
Well, do you think you're not good at it because you weren't able to practice at it, or is it almost like just like an inherent thing you need to figure out?
I think it's an inherent thing. Like I think it's something that I get primarily probably from my parents and my upbringing. Like I had love, I had a great family and everything, which I was blessed with, and that's why it's so weird being on the other side of it now, because I'm like, wait, I had my upbringing was just fine. Like yeah, we were in the hood, but like love was all around. Never was anything was ever bad. Like nothing was ever bad. Everything was always fine. And so I'm like, where is that disconnection? Why am I not able? Because it's showing up like with my parents and my grandma and everything. It's like, why can I not be as close to these people as I used to be? And I think it has something to do with me going off and like becoming my own person. Like
I think that's a lot of it for sure.
Yeah, like
you got to figure something out before you can kind of fully give yourself to them.
Exactly. And I'm getting closer. Like I've gotten a lot. I made a lot.
You got
of progress.
That's good.
This year, in terms of calling them and being there and seeing what's up. So it's good. Like
that's great, man. I'm happy for you for that.
So I think I'm getting. Thank you. I think I'm getting closer. But I think that's just something that's going to be like an overarching like theme in my story arc life. It's just like people. Like I can't. It's crazy because I can connect to people through my work greatly. Like it's great. They see my work, they get me. It's instant. But through me personally, then you meet me. It's like, well, that's not the same. It's because
Granted, though, I don't think it's ever the same for everybody.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I think some people have a harder time than others.
Yeah.
But I think in general, especially now, we have this, the way that I, perceive you when I see you on the phone or on your social media or whatever. It's like, it is you, obviously. Yeah. But it's like, you're presenting your artistry, right? You're presenting your expression. And your artistry and your expression is not you in essence necessarily, especially when I'm here with you in the flesh. So like, and at the end of the day, I can't give you everything on the fucking social media. So like, you meet somebody and you're like, yeah, this is my social media, and like, some people will hold that up to the standards of who you are. That's it, done for. Whatever it is you show me on that thing, that's who you is. That's how I'm gonna take you as. But that's just not the case, because you meet someone else and like, there's like 10, 20, 30 other topics, things that I have interest in, that I've done, that I haven't shown people, because those are my private desires. Those are my private passions. And I can only give that to someone in person. Right. I mean, I can only give that to someone and like, I can like only this. Exactly like this. Like I can tell you about the time, like how, like I really love playing golf, right? Like I really love playing golf. I was in the golf team, like in high school and all that shit, right? But that's like a thing. That's a whole side of me, a whole story of my life that like I haven't really presented to people,
right?
Because there's really no need. Right. You know what I mean? Those are certain things that like I can bring that up with someone I feel comfortable with. And then it feels good to let those things off, because I'm like, okay, I want to show you a side of me that isn't always shown, but I want you to let you know that it's there, because everyone's multifaceted. Some people more than others, but like, again, you probably got some, just some hobby or whatever it is that people wouldn't expect you to be down with.
Right. And
it's okay to know that like those are there, and they don't always have to be a constant, if that makes any sense. Like, let's put it this way, like, when you get into a room, especially when it's like a professional situation, whether you're trying to like pitch something or you're at a party or whatever, you're walking up in there with like your professional artist persona.
Right.
It's like you give people a facade. It's not a rude thing.
Right.
It's just what human beings do to boundary themselves to people they don't know.
Right.
So if I meet someone new, I'm not going to just go off and start immediately telling you all my personal shit, my mom's, like like all the shit that I, my personal shit. It's a professional situation. So there's a boundary there. But until we become more than just acquaintances, and then we become a friend, and we like, you invite me over to your home, we have dinner together, then things ease down. You're like, okay, I can be open for this person. And like, and so being open in that I don't think it's not meant for the social.
Facts.
It's meant to be here.
Facts.
I agree.
I agree.
And I'm sure you've had experiences like that. You know what I mean? When you're putting up a persona of yourself.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. I guess a goal would be, I don't even know if this is like a correct goal or whatnot, what even the discourse is, but it's trying to, I guess my goal personally is trying to not have that facade up, you know what I'm saying? Like try to be 100% who I am at all times. And I think maybe I think I am there. It's like, because I only have a very small, I'm sure you're aware, you have this too, it's like a very small group of people that I truly fuck with. Like, very small group of people that I truly fuck with. But outside of that group, I feel like I'm still the same to people, and those who fuck with the vibe that I'm on just join. Like, it's like, like you, I don't remember how we met, but like, was it
I think it was at a function or something like that. It was at the Yellow Jones event. Yeah, Yellow Jones event, yeah.
But it feels like, for some reason, I don't know, it's like instantly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, I think it's because of the camera, maybe, that's probably what it was, but it's like, that, like, I show up at a place and I'm like, I am who I am, and it's like, those people who join are the ones to keep. I get, it's weird, bro. I don't know. Relationships are just weird to me. I don't really get.
Well, well, it's almost as if, like, you've heard of ideas of like soul tides and all that kind of stuff, in the sense of like, we relate not only like on a artistic level, but for some reason on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Because we had those conversations about those situations when you were you went to Japan, you went to Tokyo, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there were certain things that we could connect to with my experiences of going overseas and all that kind of stuff. So like I think it was meant for us to be friends with each other.
Back.
And it's like, but even if we are connected, it's up to us to. I would love to see this relationship flourish and keep going. Right. But it's up to us to keep that going. And every person has a choice if they want to let them in like that. You know what I mean? And that's not an easy choice. Because you're also basically telling yourself that like, okay, by me becoming a good friend with this person, my life is gonna change. It'll probably change for the better. Yeah. Sometimes it might change for the worse. You just don't really know. It's uncertainty. Yeah. Yeah. But it's that leap, the leap of faith is saying, like, if I bring this person in, or if I bring all these people in, this group of people in, new things are going to come. Yeah. New opportunities, new possibilities. Yeah. And that feels good because no one wants to be stagnant. Right. No one wants to feel as if, like, their friend group is so small or so, niche that they can never really get out of that. Yes, you appreciate the friends that you have, but there's a lot of people that I had and I don't talk to them anymore. Yeah. Just because, they're doing what they're doing. Maybe their habits, their lifestyle is just conflicting with mine. It's like, if you're in my life, you're going to pull me down. It's not that I don't care for you. Exactly. It's not that I don't love you. It's the fact that, like, you being here is making it to where I can't grow in community or artistry. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's step back a little bit. They could come back. You know what I mean? It's okay. Yeah. But sometimes there's and again, at the end of the day, I think that's the difference between a friend and an acquaintance. You know what I mean? You have acquaintances, you have professional partners, people you do business with. Those are relationships that for sure come and go. Yeah. But I'm interested in developing relationships, friendships that last a long time. Same here. And I feel blessed to even already have that. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure you got people, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah. They've been there since the beginning. That feels good. It does. But what you been up to, like before all this shit popped up?
What do you mean?
You working on the Human Condition project. Yeah. And I saw you get that new spot you was working at.
Yeah. My ad agency job. Yeah. Yeah, I work. It's like down the street from here, man.
That's cool, man.
Make commercials. Like I just edit. And this is the thing. It's like this is why my life is so weird, because it's like from where I come from, the hood, fam, and then like being here, like literally waking up in the morning and going, everything in here is mine. I bought all of this. I did all of this. I work a job that I love every day. They love me. There's nothing wrong. There's literally nothing wrong. That's so not, I don't know if that's not normal, but it's like, what? It's so weird to think like that. Like it's, and I keep putting it in like a box of where I'm from. Like I always look through it through the lens of, but I'm from here, so this is how I look at it, and it's like, it's so
well, you
weird.
Can't help to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't help to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, but obviously, it's a blessing.
It is.
Sometimes I have those questions myself. Yeah. You look in your environment like, why is everything so cozy right now? Why is everything like? Why am I in the pocket right now? Like, why do I have people? Why me? Why? You know what I mean? Like, why me?
Bro, I never said that, but that's the question. Like, I never said it like that, but like, why?
Because I bet you there's probably a little bit of this happens to me too. A little bit of guilt. A little bit of guilt because you see the outside world. Not everybody is blessed with love and stability and all these things in the world. There's people right now who are really struggling. Really struggling. But
that's the biggest question, bro. It's like I don't know how to handle it.
Look, we've also had conversations about like, do you believe in like in destiny, or do you think people are chosen? You see what I'm saying?
We did have a conversation, and the more I go along and focusing on my job, it's like I don't know, bro. Yeah. Like I want to say yes. I really want to say yes to all of that, but at the same time, like all this studying and all this, like all meeting with all these psychologists, it just got me on like not the science, but like the realness. Like what can I see? Like what is actually in front of me right now? instead of thinking that it's fate, what if it is just a coincidence? And that's what I've been battling with. It's like, if this is fate, great, but what if it's not? And then I thought to myself, well then if I have a choice of thinking about one of the two, why would I just say it's a coincidence and not just tell myself that it's fate? So then that it just keeps feeling like it's right and I keep going on the right path.
You could do that.
I could do that. But should I do that? You know?
Yeah, should you do that? I don't know. Yeah, because you might do that right. Like you might do that, and then all of a sudden some fucked up shit happens to you, and you're like, wait a minute. Now my fate is to be fucked.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, oh no,
and
bro.
I try to put it in there. I'm like, I put it in that box, and I'm like, I can't think about that, but I can. I should. And that's what I've been battling with, bro. Because it's like the high. I forgot. I think it's Maslow's like hierarchy of
needs. Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I've gotten all this one.
You've got them all taken care of.
I'm at the top. It's like now I have to deal with who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Oh yeah. Well, are you a fan of Daniel Caesar by any chance?
Yeah.
So on Case Study.
Yeah.
I forget the song, but he's like.
That nigga hard, bro.
Oh, bro, I've been a fan of that. Like I got his shit on LP. Like it's. That album has been doing some other shit to me, bro. That shit is like.
I did want to
shout out Daniel Caesar, like you know.
That shit's great.
And cause he basically like in the song he's like, I got everything I need, you know, time and space to think and breathe, you know what? And then he's like basically asking the question, not only why, but where do I go from here? You know what I mean? Because this is what everybody's been trying to like clamor towards.
Yeah.
This is what the whole human endeavor has been. How do we get leisure? How do we get the ability to be able to sit back, philosophize, and chill, and think and ponder on the big questions of existence, of religion, of spirituality, politics, all that stuff. You know, the only reason why those things have been manifested is because men and women have been able to be in spaces of privilege. And now I think the boundaries of what is privileged and what isn't is being blurred. Because right now we privileged. We privileged to be we blessed to be in this room, air conditioned, lighting. So what happens when all of Western society, the majority of them, even the people who are kind of in the lower middle class, in retrospect, historically, is like in bourgeoisie society. It's like we're asking ourselves this question. It's like, this is what a bourgeoisie man back in the 19th century would have done. Kick back, drink some tea, coffee, like all these things that we take for granted that are on the global market now that are just like a given for people. This corona shit that popped off, everybody, you know, restaurants closing, cafes closing, we're all like, whoa. Wait a minute, what happened to our leisure? You know what I mean? Like, or you can't get what you want on Amazon right now.
You can't watch TV.
You can't watch whatever, and like, where's my button? Like, where's my... So like we've been so, even as middle class Americans, conditioned to think that this state of being is not only something we take for granted, but it's something that is. It's so ephemeral. It's so delicate. It is. You know, it could the power line, bro. Homie could like fucking chop that hoe. 100%. Anybody could just take that shit down, and then your house don't have power.
Facts.
You know, and so now I think we need to get back to, and this is why I appreciate a lot of stuff you've been putting on your account of like having appreciation for the layman, having appreciation the person who gives you your chicken sandwich, bro, the person who fixes your tire, you know what I mean, the people who do the plumbing, all these people that don't got clout on Instagram. But, you know, fuck it, man, they got clout to me.
Exactly.
You know, I look at a woman who's working hard to you know, put food on the table for their kid, their wife, whatever it may be. And I salute that shit. Because if that wasn't there, I couldn't be who I am. But I think a lot of people, because everyone wants to be an artist now. And we're losing. My God,
I don't know how many times I said that shit. Everybody, continue.
Everybody wants to be an art. I know. Everybody wants to be an artist, and then so they don't even think there's an option to just be an average adult anymore. Like an average respectable job, being a plumber, being a cashier, all these things. Like now, artistry, because art, you can make a lot of money doing art. There's people who look down on that. Like, oh, you just a cashier. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm treating this job like it's my life right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to be there for somebody, give people a smile, whatever it may be.
It's human connection.
Connection.
Right there.
That's the meaning right there. And so we've been, for a while now, because of social media, a lot of people have been overlooking that shit. And hopefully this time, highlight that.
Seriously.
You know, and that's why I appreciate, because we need to highlight those people.
Yeah.
We need to show these people are here.
Yeah.
They've been giving us our leisure for who knows how long, and we haven't even been giving these people credit.
Right.
And that's fucked up.
Exactly.
That ain't cool.
Exactly. I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. Everybody wants to be an artist these days, and it's what sucks is that even if you like call people out on that, it's wrong. I feel like it's wrong on the culture. I guess makes it look like it's wrong on you. I don't know. It's like there's so many things I want to tackle there. It's just social media in general, and the fact that we haven't had like time to just sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? And talk to one another. Like back in the day when. In the 50s and the 40s and shit, or however back in the day. It's like you didn't have internet. Of course, you would sit down with a room full of people and talk and chill and just discuss things. Like, we don't do that anymore. And the internet especially is very dangerous in that it's giving us more information than ever. And so what that does is that it's kind of like our brain has never been able to process all this stuff. Like, it's crazy how much information that we have now, like at our fingertips, and that you can learn anything. And what's crazy to me is that as a species, I feel like most people don't look at us as like a scientific, and this may help, but the people don't look at us as like a scientific project in a way. Is that, like, for example, let's say LeBron James, right?
Mm-hmm.
This man is almost in his 40s, and this guy is huge, 250, 6'8".
He's a monster of a human being.
And killing it in the NBA.
Yeah, this man's the goddamn legend.
He's a legend, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking at him like, oh, look at his stats, look at what he does. And I'm looking at this man like, we need to study his body. We need to study him.
Yeah.
We need to study, fuck the stats, man. What is this man?
Study this man as a whole.
As a whole. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, my goal in life in general is to just further us as a human species.
I love that. Yeah.
And I feel like the only way we can really get there is if people start with themselves. Like, you have to start inside, individually.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you need, what you want, what you love, before you can go and affect other people.
100%.
And what they do.
100%.
And so, for example, it's like why I'm trying to start with human conditioning, because it's like you have, like I said, people searching for answers outside of themselves. You're not gonna find the fucking answer outside of yourself. You're gonna find it in here, because you know how the fuck you interact with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And people, it's just tough for people to like to get that, I guess, with the internet, because there's so much stuff. How can you expect your brain, a brain that hasn't probably evolved in the last who knows how long, because we've only been here for about 2,000 years as a species, barely.
Yeah, especially as like just in general Western society. Like if we put it in like in general like
perfect.
Our situation.
Exactly.
You know,
Because
we come from like everyone. People want to deny this, but we come from a Judeo-Christian European tradition. Yeah. Fundamentally, when it comes to America, it's like that's our history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if there's a different conversation that's happening in China or well, maybe not so much, but like in China or India and all that, because they don't come from the Judeo-Christian tradition.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And when I say that, it doesn't mean that like everybody's a Christian or whatever, but it means that like there's certain the idea of the liberty of the individual, you know, the social contract that comes from Rousseau, which was a French political philosopher, all these things that come from, you know, a deep tradition of American Western values of the autonomy, the divinity within the human being. It doesn't even have to be necessarily the fact that everyone's in Christ or whatever, but it's the fact that we all, when we walk outside, we recognize there's a respect there that I have to give you. And that's embedded in law. It's English common law. Like, you know what I mean? So we've already kind of put that down foundationally. But I think recently, especially on the internet, there's been an attack on that. Because it's been so long since those things have been established. And we've actually made a lot of progress to help more and more people of color, of diversity, to help be in those states where they can be respected and have rights. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we definitely make a lot of progress. People want to undermine that progress. And they want to basically say that, okay, it's even playing field again. Let's think of some new rules. Let's think of some new things. It's like, I don't know if that's going to be, like, I don't know if you can do that. Like, what do you want to start at square one again?
Right.
Like, no. I can't, like, we can't do that. We can't afford that. That's why, like, you know, people talk about, like, okay, I agree with you. Like, I want to be able to, how can we better ourselves as human beings, as a society? And I think right now, we're under the pressure of trying to, we need to kind of separate ourselves a little bit from the tech and kind of not, don't destroy it.
Yeah.
It's still helpful.
Yeah.
It still gives us tools. It still helps me communicate all those things. But we got to separate and realize that we have more power inward than we do externally, right? But then you have people who look at the Western tradition and see all the negative, and of course it's true. There's a lot of negatives, a lot of corrupt aspects of what we've been dealing with here, and there's still people who are out there taking advantage of people in the corrupt capitalistic state. But does that mean we should burn it down?
Right.
What are you gonna like go out and kill people?
Yeah.
Kill your enemy? Yes, maybe sometimes we may have to get to a point of violence, but that should be the last resort. You know, like that should be the last resort. I don't want. And there's a lot of people, you know, I've been to functions, you know, there's probably people listening right now who've been to some of like Sins parties and whatnot. Like there's a lot of kids our age that like, they might not be as educated as me. We've been, you know, you have college education, all that kind of stuff. So you see a side of the world that is peaceful and quiet. But people who don't come from that, they think, okay, the only way I can make some kind of change for myself and for people is to like disrupt the system.
I agree.
But it's like, you can't, man.
Yeah.
You're going to start trying to disrupt the system. And like a lot of homies I know, you won't get caught up because there's laws in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we need the laws, obviously. But for you to come to some people come to the argument that like, okay, now let's go to anarchy.
Yeah.
Let's go to no, we can't. We got to take on the responsibility of being full intellectual beings and be able to keep the judicial system going in a noble, honorable, you know, honest way. And it's like, and it's, if you don't have that context for that, if you haven't experienced some of those sides of things, I think a lot